So I made this open cardigan on my school teacher's request. Yes, it's for my teacher, fingers crossed, and hoping she'll like it because this is my first sweater or cardigan ever, and that too for someone else, made by combining knitting and crochet. Today's video is not a step-by-step tutorial on how to make sweater. However, when you've watched the whole video, you'll pretty much get the idea of how a sweater is constructed and be able to make one of your own even if you have no pattern or specific stitch counts. Hi everybody, welcome to Little's Handicrafts, and let's begin. I use a straight or a circular needle of 4mm, a 3.5mm crochet hook, a measuring tape, and also you might require a row counter, a white eye needle to sew in later on, and of course a thread cutter. I'll be using this yarn which is provided by my mom. It's very lightweight and the strand is very thin. Ooh, and I love the texture and the color. It's very smooth and soft. It's going to be fun working with this yarn. I've cast on 45 stitches each for the front panel of the cardigan on a circular needle. If you're not comfortable with circular needle and your straight needles are long enough to hold all the stitches, you can cast it on a straight needle. Also, if you need to look up for some of the supplies I use, I'll leave a link in the description box. The first row is just a simple knit row. We insert the needle, yarn over, grab the yarn and slide it off the needle. Just repeat that. Knit, knit, and you knit all across. Do the same for the other panel. Just knit across, knit and knit all the way to the last stitch on the needle. Next row, row 2, this is the purl row. Just transfer the first stitch and purl. One, another purl. Oops, that happens sometimes. I'll just put it back on the needle and continue to purl this row too. For both the panel, we will just purl. Row 3 is another knit row. I just knit across. Next row would be purl row. So from here on, I'm doing the knit and purl in alternating rows. After a few rows, we should be able to get a stitch like this on the right side of the work. So here are my two front panels which have grown. There's no decrease or increase, just 45 stitches on both sides as I had started. I also transferred my stitches onto a straight needle. It's curled up now because I didn't add any border, but this will straighten out soon. Okay, now I'll start shaping the armhole, but before that, I had already done my back panel. So I'll just place it on top of this to see that they match and measure the same length. And for this back piece, I did a total of 90 cast on. For the armhole, I bind off 3 stitches from both sides, then decrease 7 more, and just knit straight up on both the sides. You'll understand more once I do the decrease for these two panels. Okay, so I created these two panels because the cardigan I'm making is an open one. Otherwise, the back and the front panels would be the same. It's just that I have divided the cast on of 90 into 45 plus 45. I knit and purl some rows and just knitted the remaining rows because my work is kind of growing slowly. You can see the stitches are very fine and pretty because of the thin strand, but oh dear, the time it took to grow. Phew. Just to knit this length, it literally took me an hour. I should have used two strands together from the beginning, but it's too late now. Anyway, I would suggest that you go for a chunkier yarn if you don't want to put too much time in making a project. Alright, back to the decreases. For the back panel, I bind off 3 stitches each side, but for the front panel, I'll bind off 5 stitches each. With the right side facing me, I will transfer the first stitch onto my working needle. Knit the next stitch and bind off. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I decrease 5 stitches here because the front armhole has a deeper curve as compared to the back armhole. And then I'll just knit through this row till I'm left with 3 stitches. For this panel, continue knitting. Alright, I'm left with 3 stitches here, and I'll knit these 2 together. Knit the last stitch. The bind off will form the armhole, and the decrease here will give the V shape for the neckline as it grows. For the other panel, it will start with a decrease. So when we decrease here, it will give the other V neckline. And we will knit all the way through every stitch. Now you might think we will bind off here, but we'll just decrease in the next row. We'll knit all the stitches here, because if we bind off here, it will not be like the bind off on the other panel. It will not be like this one. We don't want the working yarn in the last stitch after we bind off. So turn the work. As usual, we will bind off 5 stitches here. Knit and bind off. One, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We can see here that this is the wrong side, and on the wrong side we don't decrease anywhere. We just knit through and through. Just in the starting only we had decrease here because we needed to give the armhole shape. We will not be decreasing in the V stitch also, so we will just knit through and through for both the panels. So for the next row, turning the right side towards me, I will slip the first stitch onto the working needle, pull the yarn forward, and knit two together. This is where the armhole decrease had just been done in the last row, so we will decrease 2 more stitches. Here there won't be any decrease in the V stitch, so just knit all the way. Do the same for the other panel. Just continue knitting until you reach the other armhole. So when you reach there, you will knit 2 together, decrease in the armhole, knit the last stitch, and that's it. Alright, so on the wrong side we will decrease only on the V stitch. What I wanted to tell you here is that the V stitch will decrease every 3 rows. It will continue to decrease till the shoulder point, and the armhole here will decrease for 4 more rows. We will decrease and then it will grow straight afterwards, but the V stitch will continue to decrease and form a V till the shoulder point. Also, for the armhole we will decrease on the right side always, and on the wrong side we will not be decreasing anything. So in this row, when we knit, we will not decrease here, it's just a knit stitch, and we will decrease only on the V stitch. I love how beautifully the texture is formed. Even though it took a little more extra time, it's very soft and smooth. The stitches are beautiful. Alright, so I have completed my panel, and this right here is the V neckline forming. It's about 7 inches right now. Also, this armhole and the decrease starts at the same level. Anyway, this piece is the shoulder attaching piece is quite small right now, so I'll be putting single crochet all around this panel, starting from anywhere. So then I put 3 single crochet in every corner, 2 and 3 single crochet, then 1 single crochet in each stitch all around this panel, and I will put 7 rows of single crochet all around. This is what it looks like after you have completed 7 rows of single crochet. This is the back panel. And let me assemble the parts of the sweater. So this panel will go right here like this. We will sew up later on. The actual length of the cardigan is supposed to be 25, and right now it's just 23, so I will extend the border and make it 25 later on. Okay, and that is it. Very simple. I'm going to put 7 rows of single crochet on the other panel, then I will sew it up till here, then join the shoulder line and do the same for the other panels also. And then I will do this border extension after all this has been sewn up, and I'll do this off camera. Okay, so for the border, I am going to be putting a rib stitch. So for the rib stitch foundation, I have put double crochet all around it. For the rib stitch, what we do is an alternating of front post and back post. So one back post double crochet, then another front post double crochet, back post, front post, and I just keep doing this all the way across. This is the other side seam here. Then we will do it all the way up. So just continue putting front post and back post double crochet. This will give a nice rib stitch. For the corner, what I do to increase the stitches here is a little different. This is a front post. Then I put one normal double crochet in between. Then take this next stitch as the front post. One double crochet in between. Take this as the front post. Then normally continue the front post and back post. This will be back post, front post, and back post. So in all the corner turning points, I do this. One more front post, and you can see how nicely the corner is formed just by doing that. Then you do 7 more rows of rib stitch. This will give the border. Do it on the armholes also, both the armholes. Add a little cute pocket to it, and that is it. And this is the side seam I forgot to show you earlier. Just do a whip stitch and that's it. Here is my cardigan, and you can see it measures about 26 inches now, and the rib stitches runs all the way from one panel up to the neckline and down the other panel and back towards the back of it. And I'm quite happy how it has turned out. The across shoulder measures about 15 to 16 inches. And this is how I construct my cardigan using the basic layout. I'm using a brush here. You can use a buttonhole instead. I hope you have learned something from this video today. Please do support this channel and like, comment, share, and subscribe. You have been amazing. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next. Bye-bye.